So this is another reason why I wanted to start Ancient DOS Games Shareware Edition, is because I wanted to make it possible to look at some of these modern titles. Because when it comes to the regular Ancient DOS Games series, we're primarily looking at games that actually were from the days of DOS when it was commercially viable to make games for it. But that hasn't been since the late 90s. But that hasn't stopped independent developers from making stuff. And that's one such game we have today, Ossuary. At least I think I'm pronouncing that right. And Cyningstan, I think that's how he pronounces that particular development moniker he goes by. But yeah, this is a modern DOS game. It's based on a ZX Spectrum game of the same name, made by the same person a number of years before he made this port. With this port coming out in 2020. So yes, this game is only 6 years old. And the funny thing is, it actually runs in CGA color, but looking at this screen, it actually took me a hot minute to figure out how he got it to look like this with CGA. I mean, see if you can figure it out and then comment about it. Or I'll if somebody gets it right, whoever gets it right first, I'm gonna can I pin comments still? YouTube changes stuff all the time, so I have no idea. But the thing is that, yeah, try to see if you can figure out what exactly is going on with this CGA palette here. Okay, so I'm actually redoing this part right now because something I didn't realize is that depending on how your stats are rolled, you don't actually have the ability to re-roll the stats unless you quit the DOS and restart, or take the stats you're given, die, and then like go back to the main menu and stuff, or this high score screen or whatever. But yeah, so your starting stats at the side there, you see from top to bottom, it's attack power, defense power, magic power, or actually I think it refers to as strength, strength, defense, intelligence, and health. So strength is basically your attack power. Defense is your defense power, how much you defend against attacks. Intelligence is used for magic. Magic is handled in a very simplified way, which I'll explain in a bit. And health is like your hit points. And your maximum health is the culmination of all of your other stats, like the natural stats there. So that's why it's showing 21 there. And each stat can naturally range from 5 to 10 when you start the game. So 7, 6, and 8, that's not a terrible balance. The fact that the 6 is on the defense is a little worrying. Could roll with this. I don't think this would be... Yeah, I don't think this one's going to be a good example. I think a better example would be if we actually had a lower intelligence start, just because of the way the game plays out. So I'm going to restart. Well, actually, I can just do it right now. We have to start the game first, and we'll exit, and then we'll reboot it. And it should give us completely different stats now. 6, 5, and 10. Whoa. Okay. 6, 5, and 10 would be an interesting run, but I am not going to go with that one either. Ooh, this one's going to be interesting. It's 10, 5, and 6. So that's maximum strength, but minimum defense. This one could be interesting. Let's go with this one. So, put in my name, and there we go. So, there's no save feature in this particular game because even though it's a dungeon crawl, it's very simplified and it's very short. I mean, there's 24 levels, and we're at level 1, but the reality is these dungeon floors are very tiny. Oh, and I'm already attacking bats. Now, the game started me with an incredibly high strength score, so this is probably going to be very simple to get through these first few floors, but unless we find some equipment, it might get more perilous. Okay, so we found our first piece of equipment there, so let's go over to it and take it. And then to wield and wear, we go into our inventory. We can select different things and then wear wield. And you can see that it's now giving us +2 to our strength. There's 3 different weapons in the game, which give +2, +4, and +6. And the one thing I don't like, normally with a dungeon crawl, it's spacebar to like wait a turn. But in this game, it's a little different. The way spacebar works is you press it, and then you can just select what command you want to do. Now, I guess if we put it on wait a moment, No, but then we got to do it again. Yeah, wait a moment is like just skip a turn. And we have to normally do that with the period key. So I don't like that that's how it works, because normally in a dungeon crawl, space is your wait a turn key. Okay, so more bats to deal with. This one dropped an apple, so we're going to take that. Well, okay, I call it an apple, but the reality is they're called nice apples. And each one gives you 4 hit points when you eat them. So there's no benefit to waiting to use apples. Once you're down 4 hit points, use an apple, or eat an apple. And then this right here is just a purse of gold. It's 20 gold, and that just goes towards a high score at the end. Gold is otherwise totally useless. And this one dropped a healing potion. Healing potions give you a full restore of your health. But yeah, as you can see, we are... Ooh, early magic wand. That's nice to have. I'll explain that in a moment. But yeah, this is the first dungeon floor here. And yeah, this is one level. This is why this game doesn't need a save feature, because 24 levels that are only this big goes by kind of quick. Okay, so we take the stairs down to level 2 and immediately get some gold and fight some more bats. Okay, so the magic wand. The way the magic wand works is it effectively is a weapon. It's a +2 weapon, but it's +2 to intelligence. And while the magic wand is equipped, all attacks become magic attacks. So the idea is that if you have a better potential for magic than strength, then you kind of want to use the magic attacks instead. The problem, though, is that later in the game, you will fight monsters that are only vulnerable to magic. So it kind of makes sense to carry both a magical weapon and a physical weapon at first, unless your magic very much outpaces your strength, and then it just makes more sense to just go magic all the way. Because yeah, right now, if I switched to using the magic wand, I'd be doing 6 + 2, which is 8 attack power, whereas with the dagger right now, I've got 10 + 2, which is 12. So yeah, better to stick with the dagger. Funny thing is that the nature of the B in the font makes it look like an R, but there also are rats in the game, but the rats are vermin. So it's like, I want to call the bats rats and the rats vermin, I guess. That's whatever. Ooh, so I just killed the last bat in the level here, and it actually gave me a strength point. Because your stats there could actually increase points. I don't know when they occur, like if you have to kill a certain number of enemies or if it's totally random, but sometimes you'll kill an enemy and you'll get a stat point. And in this case, I gained strength, which means I now have 11 natural strength, which is... it's a lot. I'm gonna have fairly easy time killing things. I just gotta make sure to keep a good eye on my health. And it looks like we also found a chest of gold here, or a casket of gold, which is worth 50 gold as opposed to 20. Okay, got a lot of arachnids in this particular room here. So I'm going to do my best to take them on one at a time. One thing I should mention is that everything is done with the arrow keys here. There are no diagonal movements or diagonal attacks or anything like that. So just think 4 cardinal directions for handling things in this game. Ooh, we found the broadsword. So I will take that now. And just to demonstrate something here, you might be thinking, well, you got 2 item slots. Can you do dual wield in this game? Well, if we put away our shield here and then decide to wield our new broadsword, oh yeah, you can dual wield. Now, granted, you're not going to be very defensive, but you're going to take things out quickly. But yeah, let's see if we can take out this serpent in a single strike. Yep, a single... Oh, and we gained another strength point. We're doing like 18 attack power right now. That's a little excessive, at least as far as I'm aware in terms of how the mechanics here work. Okay, and now we've got cadavers as a new enemy type. So as the different kinds of enemies start to come into play here, we're going to have to keep in mind that some of them can hit pretty hard. Yeah, that was a real hard hit there. But then that was a fairly weak hit. So, I think I probably should go back to wielding the or not wielding, but having the shield equipped. So let's go back into our inventory here, put away the dagger, and then wield the shield. Now the question is, can I survive an attack from a cadaver with 8 hit points and the shield equipped? I only did 1 hit point there, so let's try to... Okay, I'm not going to push it any further than that, so let's drink a potion. Yeah, just did 7 hit points damage. Glad I drank that potion there. Serpent moved out of the way and revealed the next shield type. So it's an iron shield, so we'll take that. And then go to our inventory. Not going to need the wooden shield anymore, so we'll drop that. And then wield the iron shield, and that's +4. Ooh, okay, so this item here, the magic amulet. Now, I'm not going to collect it because this character's magic sucks. But here's the... Or actually, maybe I should. Huh. Because here's the thing. The way the magic amulet works is it gives you +2 to intelligence and then converts all defense to magic defense. So your intelligence now becomes your defense against enemies. So if I were to pick up the magic amulet and equip it right now, it'd be +2 to intelligence and my defense would be 8. But then the other trick here too is that if I have both the wand and the amulet equipped, then that would be +2 from each of those for +4. That'd bring me up to 10. So that'd be more defensive than using the iron shield. But then I'd also be suffering an attack power of 10, as opposed to my current attack power, which is 16. Yeah, either way, I'm going to take the amulet for now, and I just realized I don't need to be holding onto that dagger, so let's go drop that dagger. Okay, not much happening here on level 8. Like, picking up some items, got an apple, there's been some cadavers and serpents, not really finding anything of note, though. Oh, geez, down to 1 hit point. Quaff that potion. Ooh, this cadaver had one of these. A banish spell. Okay, so I'm going to take this for now, and I'm going to tell you right now, you really want to hold on to every banish spell you can get your hands on. So here's the thing. The banish spell, the way it works, is there's a couple enemies later in the game that are only vulnerable to magic. Spectres and daemons. And both of them are also vulnerable to the banish spell, which basically just rolls a chance to completely kill the enemy then and there. And I just noticed I gained a magic point from that. And that enemy also was guarding a battle axe. And yeah, if you wield the battle axe and the broadsword at the same time, that's freaking +10 attack. That'd be 22 attack. I mean, the thing is, I'm so incredibly vulnerable to enemy strikes that way, but... Okay, because my defense is bad and hasn't been improving, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my inventory, I'm going to drop the broadsword, and then we're going to equip the iron shield, and then I think just going to leave the broadsword behind, because in the long run, what's going to end up happening is those specters and daemons I was talking about, they're going to become the only enemies you fight. Which means, because they are vulnerable to the banish spell, and, okay, there's actually our first specter right up there. So, I'm going to try going around a different way, see if I can avoid facing it in that huge... Oh, nope, I can't. Okay, the specter's already taken notice of me, so I don't think there's much I can do to get away from it when it's this close. So what I'm going to do, because the specter is totally invulnerable to physical attacks, is I'm going to go into my inventory, I put away the battle axe, and I immediately have to drink a healing potion. Okay, next thing to do is to wield the banish spell, and then strike. And hey, first try. And you might be thinking, well, that seems easy, and you get to keep the banish spell? Well, yes, but every time you roll an attack with the banish spell, there's also a chance it'll just crumble away. So that's why you need to collect every single banish spell you come into contact with. Because the reality of the situation is that the specters aren't so bad to deal with just using the magic wand, but the daemons, which are the strongest enemies in the game, short of the final boss, yeah, they are not fun to fight with the magic wand, unless you've got like an incredibly high magic stat. I mean, as much as I'd like to collect this potion here, kind of running low on inventory space. I mean, you might be thinking, well, you got 3 banishment spells. That's kind of overdoing it, don't you think? No. If you run out of banishment spells, it is not a fun time. And I have had them like fail like 2 in a row almost. And there's our first daemon down there. So yeah, daemon with a magic wand, not fun. Okay, so I got a couple daemons there. Let's try to banish this first one here. I was hitting real hard. I know it seems like I still got plenty of health left, but I better use a potion there. Okay, banishment finally succeeded. And now we're trying to banish this one. Oh, it just did 9 hit points damage. I gotta heal from that. And then, come on. Come on, banish it. You know you can't. It can kill me from 9. Banish it, please. There it goes. Okay, I've managed to amass 4 banishment scrolls. The other thing I gotta be careful of is that when you have a full inventory, you have to drop something to be able to cycle things out. So in this case, let's try to do some damage to these monsters first, just to sort of clear the area a bit. And then I can start dealing with... Okay, that specter is moving around. Yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with that now. So, okay, are you gonna banish anytime soon? Are you going to banish anytime? And that's what I was talking about, because the banishment scrolls can just completely give up on you. So, were-wield a new one. Oh, can it do... Yeah, I think it can do 7 hit points. I'm going through my healing potions real fast this time, but that's because my defense is terrible. My first time going through the game, I actually had 10 as my natural defense, so... Well, that's interesting. I can still attack the cadaver with normal attacks, even though I've got the banishment spell equipped. Yeah, see, because it's saying I'm hitting him. I didn't realize that was possible. Okay, because I've got a high enough strength that I didn't really have to worry about that there. I mean, yeah, there's 2 healing potions. I'd like to take them with me, but the reality is I am not going to survive if I don't have banishment scrolls. So heading into level 19 now. My defense is up to 7 natural, which means 11 with the shield, which means I kind of really didn't need that. Amulet. So probably a good thing that I decided to go with healing potions and scrolls instead of sticking with the amulet. Although it keeps giving me more chances to get new ones. Okay, I'm heading into level 20. I got a funny feeling we're getting close to the point where we're only going to be fighting the specters and the daemons. Oh no, there's still a cadaver here. So it's not entirely specters and daemons yet, but close enough, because that's all I can see on the screen right now. If I take a moment to equip that, I'm going to get attacked. So let's try to get out of the way. And now I'm going to equip it. And now I'm going to try attacking. Okay, heading to level 22. I got a funny feeling this is where it's only going to be daemons and specters. Forget if I said that already, but well, so far it's only daemons and specters. And of course, first time I use the scroll on this floor, it's already gone. So let's keep trying here. I have the magic wand in tow, just in case that's what it comes down to. But we'll see. Okay, well at least we got another one there, but there are no others on the floor here. So let's quaff a potion, pick up another, and yeah, head on down. 2 floors to go. And again, the reason why I'm not getting rid of the battle axe to make space for more spells and stuff is because against the sorcerer, you can use normal attacks. And I absolutely will wreck that sorcerer so much easier that way, but I'm down to my last scroll. if this runs out and I gotta use magic to defeat these daemons, it's not gonna be a fun time. And just like that, I do not have any scrolls left. Let's see. Okay, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. Oh no, wait, I managed to get out of that. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to use the wand. Oh, did not want to do that. So yeah, with a intelligence factor of 9 right now, these daemons are not gonna go down easy. I'm gonna end up going through a lot of health potions here. Yeah, I just went through a whole bunch of them just to kill one. Oh! One of them was holding a scroll. Okay, let's see if we can get him to... Okay. So now we'll take the scroll. Well, actually, doesn't matter the order of operations here. So let's put away this first. Then we'll take the scroll. Then we'll equip the scroll. Or wield it. And hope we can get... No, it lasted 2 uses! Oh, jeez. And I am now officially out of potions. And because my magic stat sucks... Okay. Okay. It dropped the amulet. I mean, that's not instilling me with a lot of confidence, but... We still got something of a shot here. So I'm going to put away the shield here. Or, where is it? There we go. And then I'm actually going to put the amulet on. So now my defense won't have changed because now it's going to be based on the intelligence factor. But that means I'm also going to have the higher intelligence for attacking now. Which will help, but these are still daemons and they still hurt like crazy. Okay, I don't have any hope of survival here. Unless I can find a healing potion, like, very... Well, we got an apple. That might help. I have to be able to eat it without... No, I am very screwed. 1 hit point left, and yeah, I'm done. You have died. I almost got there. Level 23. So yeah, that was Ossuary, a very simple dungeon crawl, originally developed for the ZX Spectrum, with this DOS port coming several years later. And, like, I mean, it's very basic, but the thing is that a lot of the games that this developer makes are kind of in this sort of format, taking a genre that's normally a lot more complicated, but distilling it down into a much simpler package. So with this particular game here, like, you can learn this game real quick, and you can play this game real quick. Well, sort of. It still took me an hour to get this far. But the point is that I practically nearly beat the game. There's only 1 level left. And the other thing, too, is it's freeware. So you can just go fetch the game. I'll have a link in the video description, something I haven't been diligently doing with these Ancient DOS Games Shareware Edition videos. So I'm going to rectify that over the weekend. But until then, like, I'll have it for this video. You can go download it and play it yourself, see how far you can get, see what stats you need to get that far. In my case, with this particular run, I think a little less strength and a little more defense, and I probably would have survived better.